Yo, I just did a video, forgot to hit record. I'm going to show my latest rig again. For those who didn't see the video I didn't record, it's really awesome. What I'm going to do, I'm going to take you through the rig. I've bought a few more things, I've rearranged things slightly. I'm looking over there because that's where the pedal board is. And then I'm going to show you a few sounds that I'm making. I'm going to bitch a bit about my amp and how I need to buy a new one. Talk about how I'm going to clean up the pedal board once I've decided on everything, because there's a few more things I want to buy, namely a chorus pedal. Haven't owned one of those in a few years, and kind of love distortion, but I want to get a different fuzz pedal. There's kind of two there already, but getting right into fuzz. And then I'll just have a bit of change to what I do with it. As usual, I probably won't think about it. It'll be completely improvised and sound like it's completely improvised. Alright, let's have a look from the start. Alright, I'm using the S Series Ibanez, natural wood, thinnest guitar I've ever owned. So that's going into the chromatic tuner, which is new and very handy. There's my noise gate covered in cables all over the place, don't worry about that. I've had that noise gate since I was a teenager. Into the power supply switchmaster, I'm basically using this because there's a loose component in the Jellyfish Muffmeister, so if I actually touch it, it'll stop working. So I'm using the master switch to turn it on and off, so it's just always on. It's just bypassing through the switch. That is the Russian Big Muff that some guy here in Melbourne basically did a custom build on it, changed a few components and made it a bit beefier. I'm pretty sure he had bass in mind, but I'm having fun with it. Then that's running out via the out of the master switch into the Muff Overdrive that I bought last weekend, and it's pretty awesome. It's sort of part of the componentries of the American Muff, done as an overdrive pedal. It only has volume. You can pretty much control the amount of overdrive by the volume on your guitar. It's really sensitive to it. It's really good. But for some reason, if you stick it after the Crybaby, hello Crybaby, doesn't really get affected by it. So that's why I'm running the fuzz pedals before. I'm also running the muff, well, the two muffs really, next to each other, because every now and then I'll crank them both up together and get some decent sounds. Not the best. I do want to get a Devi Ever pedal to take care of that level of fuzz, but at the moment it's something to play with. Out of the wah pedal, which again I want to replace that, get a more modern wah pedal. I've been looking at the Steve Vai one. Sounds like a good option. Probably better suit what I'm trying to do with the wah pedal. Into the One Stone. So you can see I'm kind of into the Electro Harmonix. I think they're a great series of pedals. So that's a One Stone phaser, which just has a rate and the colour switch. For those of you who don't know it, flick up, it goes crazy. You flick down, and it's a bit more controlled. Into the compressor sustainer, which I use mainly to drive the Metal Zone into new areas. The Metal Zone I'm using as my main distortion pedal at the moment, until I buy a new one, though I'm supposed to be putting that money into buying a new amp. But, you know, I keep buying pedals because they cost a lot less than a Valve amp. So I run the Metal Zone for, you know, distorted rhythm and lead. I often kick in the Muff Overdrive to beef the lead up. It's not quite as clean a sound, but I like what it does, and that's the main thing. And once I get a new amp, it's all going to change anyway. From the Metal Zone, we're going into another Electro Harmonix pedal, which is the Pulsar, which is tremolo, which I mainly use to add what I call space to the sound. I don't use it as a traditional tremolo. Well, I do, but not mostly. Mostly I just use it to open up the sound a bit. You'll see when I demo it. Then we've got the number one echo, which is running actually through the effects loop of the amp to give me my delay. So I said chromatic tuner, noise gate, hit the switch to get the jellyfish. That's the clean. That's the jellyfish. Yeah, it's a fuzz pedal. It sounds pretty cool, breaks up a lot. Alright, muff, overdrive, if we run them both together. You get that real broken up sound. By itself. Pretty standard. I'll skip over the wah pedal, we all know about that. The one stone. Looking for some Pink Floyd and some Prince. As I said, I run the sustainer to basically smooth out the metal zone, make me sound better, I guess. Yeah, as I said, the middle zone, it's good, it's smooth. On the settings I've got it, but it's a fairly cheap pedal and I can get much better sounds by buying a proper amp. So I'll bitch about that a bit more. Done. I also mentioned putting the overdrive into the middle zone to kick it up a bit. So. I don't know if the fidelity of the audio on this thing's actually going to show the difference, but it breaks it up a bit. It obviously boosts it. I can play with the volume to get even more of an effect. Alright, I'll demonstrate what I was talking about before, the tremolo pedal. So just the sustainer in the middle zone at the moment. And now add this. It's kind of almost like putting a slight bit of, well, it is modulation, but sort of, it's, yeah, kind of like a chorus pedal, sort of. And if I run it with the one stone, I'll turn those off. It's almost becoming chorus pedal. And of course, the echo, which I run it just pretty much for lead. So it's up a bit high at the moment, but it doesn't really matter.